Hi, everybody. Claudia here from Fluffy Cow Coffee. As you all know, we are a coffee company that supports farm animal sanctuaries. And we do this by having week-long online fundraisers where we donate $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the fundraiser that begins Monday morning and ends Sunday at midnight. And we're here today with our fundraising partner of the week, the lovely Tracey from Sweet Peeps Microsanctuary. Hi, Tracey.
Hi, Claudia. How are you?
I'm good. And I'm really excited because not only are we having this great fundraiser for Sweet Peeps, but we have some fun new things on the website, like our Pride shirts.
Oh, yes.
We
That's so
have great
great.
Pride shirts for Pride Month we were at Pride Fest this weekend,
I
and
saw
we were
that.
launching Fluffy Cow, kind of like getting the community to know about it, and they were very popular. As are our totes. We have totes, and in 2 weeks we're going to have all new bags. It's going to be fantastic. But in the meantime,
Exciting.
we have our current bags, our current stuff on the website. So if you don't drink coffee, lots of things to buy on the website, even if you don't drink coffee. But the coffee's damn good. Now,
It is.
Tracey, tell
Yeah.
me all about Sweet Peeps.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well, that might have been too open-ended for you.
I know, I know. I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
can
have,
cut me off
let me be more
anytime.
specific. Let me be
Okay.
more specific.
Okay.
So, Lacey, tell everybody about where is Sweet Peeps?
Okay.
How long have you been around?
Yeah.
And if you focus on a specific species, and if so,
Yeah.
why?
Okay. Yes. So we are in Lillian, Alabama. So in between like Mobile, Alabama and Pensacola, Florida,
Okay.
along the Gulf Coast. We've been around for about 6 years.
Mhm.
I started Sweet Peeps actually in a neighborhood in Mobile, with an HOA that limited me to 4 animals. And by the time I
Mhm.
had 22, it was time to move to the country.
I'd
So
say,
that's how we ended up in Lillian.
yeah.
And we focus primarily on chickens rescued from the meat industry. So mostly Cornish Crosses, who are the birds known as broiler chickens or meat birds. But we also have ended up just taking in a lot of former feral cats. So we have a lot of cats here as well. But mostly the sanctuary focuses on the chickens.
Okay. So now these Cornish crosses.
Yeah.
Are these the birds that are genetically engineered to live a very short period of time and
Hmm.
and be plumped up during their
Yes,
short life for killing? I mean, that's the
absolutely.
whole point of the bird is to live short lives, to plump them up and then kill them.
Yeah, they are genetically manipulated to be slaughter weight by the time they're 6 to 8 weeks old. Most of the chickens, and in an industrial setting, right? They don't ever live past that age. Even if you put them in a backyard with a bunch of more, like natural
Yep.
uh, breeds,
Right.
if you treat them like an ordinary chicken and you just free feed them like you would
Yeah.
an ordinary chicken, they
They get too fat.
also will, yeah, and they won't live to be more than about a year or so. But with a special diet and the right conditions, like
Mhm.
our oldest chickens will be 6. And the first group that we took in was about 6 years ago, and we have 7 of the 8 that we originally took in still with us, which I had no idea when I started rescuing them, like that they could even live that long. But with some luck and the right care, they
Right.
they can. So
I think that's amazing. I also think it's wonderful that the world in which you reside,
yeah,
the sanctuary world, particularly focusing on chickens,
yeah,
you have people you can ask questions of, and you can
100%.
learn from each other's mistakes and what works and what doesn't work as to
Right.
how to keep these chickens healthy and alive longer and not get too overweight so that they can't breathe.
Absolutely. I mean, without the sanctuary community, I would have had no idea how to treat them, how to raise them, and they would not be alive today. Even
Right.
our vets. I mean, thankfully we've found some really wonderful veterinarians who are like willing to learn with us, and help us keep them alive as long as possible. But even people know so little about these animals because they, in this country alone, we kill 9 billion of them every year for food, and that's 9 billion chickens who are killed at 6 to 8 weeks old. It's such an infinitesimally small fraction of them who get to sanctuary, and so it's really only the sanctuary community who knows how to care for them, and I'm just so grateful that from the beginning I was connected to people in the sanctuary world so that, I could go by their guidelines and not
Right.
the
Right.
guidelines of like, the backyard industry that uses them for meat.
Right. Right.
So
So
yeah.
why chickens? Why Tracy and her love of chickens?
Yeah, well, I didn't know I loved chickens until I had them, but I knew that they were the most abused land animal on earth.
Mhm.
And I knew that I didn't know them. When I used to go visit sanctuaries, I wanted to visit the cows and the pigs and the goats and the sheep, and I didn't care all that much for the avian species, honestly. Like, I think I believed a lot of the misconceptions that are out there about them, like that they're not very smart or that they don't have much personality or something. And I knew though that I would be a better advocate if I knew them better. So in the back of my mind, I just always thought I want to know them better. One day I want to live with them. And then it was like that combined with I saw a post on Facebook about a slaughterhouse that was closing or they had gone bankrupt. They had turned off the heat in the sheds and stopped feeding the animals, and they were basically letting them die. And there was this massive rescue effort though that took place, and it was just very spontaneous that I decided I would take 2. I ended up taking 8, but I also had no idea, honestly, that what I was really getting into. And I always say, like, I'm glad I didn't know what I was getting into exactly, because I don't know that I would have taken it on, and I'm
Yeah,
so
right.
glad I did. But
Yep.
it's
I feel
just
the same way about the coffee business.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Starting this,
Yeah,
starting a sanctuary and starting a business, they're very
yeah,
challenging
yes,
experiences.
right.
And
And if you look,
if we knew then what we know now, we'd be like, I don't
yeah.
want, what the hell I'm doing that for? I'm gonna keep getting that paycheck, damn it.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh yeah, my life was a lot simpler. Like, I have a t-shirt my mom bought me that says like have to be home by sunset to put in my chickens, and I do. I mean, I'm home every night by sunset. I mean, I basically don't leave at this point. My life has
Right.
changed so much taking care of them. But I mean, they are some of the sweetest little individual people I've ever known, and I have become like an incredible chicken person. But so, I mean, to go back to your original question, like why, it was really just because they are the most abused.
Uh-huh.
The numbers and the lack of legal protection. It just seemed like they needed the most help. But at this point, now that I know them as individuals, it's just because they're like some of the cutest people in the whole world, and they have just as much personality as like my dog or my cats. They're all individuals.
And how many do you
And
have currently?
currently 28 chickens.
Okay.
27 of them are Cornish Crosses. Only one is not.
And do you have room for more, or are you at capacity?
I've been like beyond capacity for so long. So I say, I mean, I really feel like at this point we have a kind of a moratorium on taking in new
Yeah.
animals. That said, I feel like, it's I tried to take in a rooster just like a week ago, despite the moratorium, who just
Yeah.
needed somebody. Like nobody was helping him, and he actually didn't make it. But I feel like
Uh,
there will always be like circumstances where I just can't say no.
right.
But I do feel like we're really, because we do give them very individualized care, and the Cornish crosses do have special needs, and there
Yeah.
are always people here with medical. I mean, I was at the vet yesterday with 3 chickens. There's like not a week that goes by that I don't end up at the vet. And so
Right.
both in terms of like just time to give them the care that they need and resources to pay for that care, I feel like I have to, we're never going to rescue them all, which is the most heartbreaking
God, no.
aspect
Not
of it
not at
all.
the rate they're destroyed.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Right.
geez, that is
Yeah.
really something. Now, do you go to like, fairs or markets and try to
Mhm.
educate people about Sweet Peeps and and the work you do?
Mhm. Um, So I don't do a ton of in-person outreach, a little bit, but it's a combination again of like, it's very hard to get away from the sanctuary. I have some like wonderful helpers who help me, but even with their help, it's very hard to be able to like take a whole day and go to an
Sure.
event.
Yeah.
So we do a little bit of it, but I try to do more outreach through social media and
Mhm.
different writing projects because I can write in between taking care of animals.
Mhm.
So like I have a children's book actually coming out at the end of the month about, yes, thank you. Chickens are animals too. Fanny Goes to Washington, based on, it's well inspired by my chicken Fanny, and like
Yeah.
all the characters are who are in the book are inspired by the chickens here.
Yes.
Um,
That's
yeah, so
wonderful.
thank you. Thank
That's
you.
fantastic. That is
Thank
so fantastic.
you.
All right, now, so tell me, Tracey,
Yeah.
because we want to make sure your fan base and our fan base knows that we have 3.5 more days of this fundraiser,
Yes.
and we want to make sure that people really understand that it's $2.50 for every item sold on the website. So you get a
Right.
three-pack of coffee, and you got coffee for a month, and that's $7.50 goes to Sweet Peeps, which is great,
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
amazing.
We have lots of fun things. This like, look at this swag. Look at that
Uh,
mug.
it's so great. Yeah, so great.
Good. And we have cute species specific swag. And like I said, in 2 weeks, we're going to have new bags, and the light roast is a nod to chickens. Just
Right.
FYI.
Yes. Yes, that's exciting.
It's
Yeah.
very exciting. So now tell me, Tracey, like say we just did a really great job and we raised $200 to $300 for Sweet Peeps. Like what kind of impact would that have on you?
Yeah. I mean, that would be amazing. It's like so many different ways to look at how we could spend that money. So our feedbacks, which is what the chickens get, so morning and night they get regular grain, afternoons they get fresh vegetables. So that would be enough to buy the regular food feedbacks for something like 2 months.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, right there, that's huge.
Yeah, that's
It's
great.
also reproductive care for one hen, but reproductive care is super expensive and it's life-saving. I had one of my chickens in yesterday who's having egg problems laying eggs, and chickens die all the time from egg laying problems. And so there's like reproductive care you can give them that saves their lives. But again, it's like very expensive. But
Mhm.
$300 would give reproductive care, life-saving reproductive care to one of the hens.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
yeah,
So that
huge.
now we have our call to action for the weekend.
Yes, yes, please, please.
We got to get the word out because we want to feed those crazy chickens or get the
Yes,
reproductive care to save the life of one.
yes, yes, please. Yes, we appreciate it so much. Yeah, and I've already had people telling me how great the merch on the site is. So
Good.
yes,
And
yes.
wait until they try the coffee
Oh,
because it's
oh, and
really good.
I can attest. I'm a coffee fanatic, and I literally went to bed last night like I couldn't wait to wake up and drink my coffee. It's so good.
Fantastic. All
Yeah.
right. All right, Tracey. So now we have our work cut out for us. You're gonna scream it from the rooftops that
Yes.
we want to buy swag and coffee all weekend to
Yes.
support Sweet Peeps Microsanctuary in Alabama, and let's feed those chickens and get
Let's
some
do
good
it.
reproductive care.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
All
Thank
right.
you so
Well,
much.
Tracy, you have a great weekend, and I hope I write you
Thank
a big
you.
old check on Monday morning.
Me too. Thank you again so much for everything that you do for all of the sanctuaries, all the animals, and for us. We're so grateful for everything that you do and to be a part of it. Thank you.
Well, it's our pleasure. It's why we get up in the morning, just as it is why you get up in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
you have a wonderful weekend.
You
Fingers
too.
crossed. I'm
Thank
going to give
you.
you a
Yeah.
big old check.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.